In recent years, animated superhero films have gone from being the type of films that were released straight to DVD or TV by Marvel or DC, to basically a subgenre of animated films being pitched by major studios every few years to quite a bit of success. You know, the second highest grossing animated film of all time. It's not like it's the first. And according to my definition of animated superhero films being films that were computer animated and theatrically released, there are 6, and I don't think any of them are objectively bad. You've got The Incredibles, Megamind, Big Hero 6, Lego Batman, Incredibles 2, and of course Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They're all pretty good, enjoyable films. Yeah, even Megamind. Especially Megamind. And not only that, but each of the 5 biggest animation companies have had a swing. Pixar, DreamWorks, Disney, Warner Brothers, and Sony, you know. Everyone other than Illumination. But don't be getting any ideas, Universal. No one wants that. And I'd have never believed you if you told me at the start of the year I'd say Incredibles 2 wasn't the best animated superhero film this year. But it wasn't. Because Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse comfortably takes the cake and potentially even becomes the greatest animated superhero film of all time. Okay, the second best. I'm not biased or anything, but nothing beats the original Incredibles. Maybe I'm a little biased. Whether this is better than The Incredibles or not, what this film truly is redefining for the genre. I should mention before I get digging into this film, there are going to be spoilers in this video. Probably. I think actually only some minor spoilers, but you've been warned. So I think the first and most obvious thing that makes this film redefining is the animation, because this is a real comic book film. I don't even really know how to put it into words, but it just felt like you were reading a comic book, and it was so well done. It's so stylistic, and I don't think it could have been done justice as a live action film, which on the contrary to The Incredibles or Big Hero 6, they could have pretty much been remade scene for scene as a live action film, and it wouldn't really be that different. They're just kind of the same as your regular comic book films, but animated. And yeah, I won't lie to you, when I first started watching the film, I wasn't the biggest fan of the animation because I thought it looked jerky, blurred, and maybe a little unfinished. But then I realized after 10 seconds, oh, that's the point. Unlike the first negative review it got on Rotten Tomatoes that is literally all about a critic not understanding there's more than one type of animation style. Why are we letting people like this get a critical status on Rotten Tomatoes? This film has fantastic animation, and it's not supposed to be photorealistic because it's an animation film and doesn't have to be animated like a live action film. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I believe they have truly redefined the genre by making a film that only really works in this given genre. And while the animation is the most obviously revolutionary thing about this film, I also thought the music was just perfect. And this isn't a biased opinion at all. I don't listen to or even really like rap, hip-hoppy music. But for this film, everything clicked into place and it all just worked perfectly. I actually got goosebumps at 2 separate moments during the film due to the music and just good scenes in general. The first one being the aftermath to Peter Parker's death, where everyone's just on their phones finding out the news, and it's just so powerful. If that wasn't the most emotional scene revolving around Spider-Man's death this year, if that wasn't the second most emotional scene revolving around Spider-Man's death this year, I don't know what was. And then there's also the scene where Spider-Man has his leap of faith and jumps off the building to embrace his Spider-Man-ness. I don't know what I like so much about this scene, but both times when I was watching it in the cinema, I got goosebumps and thought to myself, wow, this is such a good film. Like, I can't describe what made this scene so good, which is great considering that's what I'm trying to do, but my body was telling me it was, so I'm guessing it was good. And I don't know if this is something superhero films are becoming known for now, but I feel like ever since Guardians of the Galaxy, it's become a must for a superhero film to have an exceptional soundtrack with some pop song in there at some point. And I'm not complaining, because this film had a soundtrack that even I, someone who doesn't like that kind of music, can appreciate. Am I cool now? Another big point this film really drives home is the whole comedic aspect, which I'm not going to try to claim is a revolutionary, redefining concept explored in a superhero film because, well, there have been a few. But I mean, 10 years before Deadpool, The Incredibles was already ripping into comic book films and stories, pointing out things that aren't really all that logistical upon reflection. And being the first major film in this subgenre, I always thought the point of animated comic book films was to be very self-aware and taking the mick out of superhero films. But unfortunately, this concept hasn't been continued as much as I'd have liked with the films since then. I guess Megamind and Lego Batman did a little, but this film is straight back in the right direction. Like, literally from the first minute where they made a joke about the Spider-Man and finger guns dance thing, I just knew I'm gonna like this movie. I particularly thought Peter Parker, as in the other dimension midlife crisis Peter Parker, was a very entertaining character and made me laugh out loud multiple times. I guess technically this isn't redefining, but these films are at their best when they don't take themselves too seriously and are very self-aware, and I included this because I hope they continue to go in this direction. And you know, on the topic of directions I hope these films go in, let this be a sign that people like multiverses. Don't be afraid to explore multiverses anymore. I'm certain someone's gonna comment, oh, there was a film that came out years ago where multiple Batman met up and fought crime together, you idiot, but I'm not aware of it existing, so I'm sorry. There at least hasn't been a film from Marvel or DC's most recent universes and films exploring a multiverse. And I feel like because of that, this was almost a test run of sorts. And I have to say, I think they did it extremely well. They incorporated so many different characters with different animation styles into the same scenes without being a mess. And that actually looked really good. Like, I honestly have no idea how they did it. And this is a quality that, once again, I don't think can be replicated in a live-action film, because you can't make a live-action film with a black and white Spiderman, an anime-style looking character, and a Looney Tune. Well, I mean, you can, but it won't look as good, and that's kind of the point of animation. You can literally make and cross over anything. And even beyond the animation, I think all the Spider people were very compelling characters and made for a very entertaining film. Except for Penny Parker. I was never really buying into her that much, but anime representation's important, so I'm not gonna get into that can of worms. So maybe this is a good sign that the further use of multiverses in animated comic book films isn't that far away. Meaning this would then be the one that started that multiverse trend, making it redefining. I honestly don't know what more to say about this film. Like, as you can tell, I really enjoyed it, and if you haven't seen it, you should go and see it. But I don't know why you'd still be watching. I gave a spoiler warning for very minimal spoilers in this video, and you probably clicked off. Just go see it, okay? Not sponsored, but could be, Sony. My bank account details are 45... Oh, guys, I'm so sorry, but my camera just died. I don't actually know when it stopped recording, but I'm pretty sure I was at the end of the video, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking here. You can watch another video by clicking here. You can check out my merch here and in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. No way! The fan favorite returns. Are you happy to be back?
Wonderful. Do you want me to say it again?
That's all good. Thank you very much.